And we are back. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Sobacksports podcast. And we are so back with another episode. Um, Lots to talk about today, especially with regards to the NFL. But how you doing, man? How's it going?
Doing great, man. You know, this is the dry part of the summer when there's literally no sports except for baseball, which our team's doing pretty good, the Cubs. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing great. I'm doing great right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is the dry part, but it doesn't mean that we don't have stuff to talk about
That's true.
or make up stuff to talk about. And earlier this week, we just got some interesting news. But before we get into that, please, if you're watching, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Really means a lot, especially we're trying to hit 700 subscribers soon. So if you're interested in the content that we're making, feel free to hit the subscribe button and subscribe to Slashing as well. Um, yeah. So in terms of the news, Aaron Rodgers made it clear on the Pat McAfee show that this very well is his last season in the NFL. And listen, knowing Aaron Rodgers, there's a chance that that could be a whole bunch of baloney. Um, but based on his age and the reason that he signed a 1 year deal, it could very well be his last. I just want to talk about that, get your whole viewpoint on the situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers and from their perspective and from the perspective of Aaron Rodgers' career.
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. You know, Aaron Rodgers, one of the most polarizing figures in the NFL. You know, one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time. It pains us as Bears fans to say that, but he is. He is one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time. And you know, ever since he's left the Packers, it's just everything's gone down for him, right? You know, he tore his Achilles. Unfortunate. And then last year had a. I don't care about his stats, man. Disappointing season, 5-12 with that Jets team. You acquire Devontae Adams, and you go 5-12. I'm not saying everything's blamed on Aaron Rodgers, but yeah, he did not have the greatest season. And now he goes to Pittsburgh, and I just don't know if he had like if it's an upgrade of a team. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But your question was, what do I think about like his last season? Like if this is his last season, I think every great NFL player or NBA player deserves a retirement tour. So I guess he's announcing it, but I am buying into it that this will be his last season because he did sign a 1 year deal with the New York Jets. Sorry, not New York Jets. Sorry, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And guys, this is my hot take here. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to win more than 6 games next season. I think this is it. This is it for Mike Tomlin. This is it for Omar Khan. This is it for Arthur Smith. This is it. I'm being so serious. And what made me think about this is because, think about it. I thought this team was scary when they kept George Pickens. Because obviously, George Pickens and DK Metcalf, yes, they might have not meshed together, but dude, that team with Aaron Rodgers on the ball, that could have been kind of scary. Now you get rid of George Pickens, and now you only have DK Metcalf, and then your second guy is I don't even know who was the second. I don't even know who the second guy is. I'll be honest, man. I mean, Fryermuth is pretty good, but like that's it. That's all they have. So I think the Steelers are going to be really bad next season. I think the defense is regressing, and they don't even have a TJ Watt contract done either yet. So we don't know what's going on with that. They have one of the most expensive defenses in the league, and I just think it's time for the Pittsburgh Steelers to move on from Mike Tomlin. But yeah, as far as Aaron Rodgers goes, I don't know. I just think that it's gonna be a really bad season, man. And I hope he ends it off with a bang because he does deserve it. But I'm just saying, Week 12 in Soldier Field, it's not going to be special. It's not going to be anything good for him, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you did mention a lot about, this could potentially be a retirement tour. Um, from the perspective of a Bears fan, you know, it's Aaron Rodgers is the thorn in our back for so many years. And, to see it, a career like that, as illustrious as that, um, is pretty weird in my mind because it just doesn't feel like it's like how Tom Brady retired, where it's like you've seen him for so long. It like a NFL without him, like it feels like how Joker would feel if Batman were to disappear. It's kind of like that. It's like they hate each other, but it's like that. But at the end of the day, like I personally am okay with it. Like no matter how much I wanted to talk myself to thinking I'm not. Like, listen, get him out at this point. And if he does good with the Pittsburgh Steelers, hey, I mean, I doubt they're gonna give a big contract for a 40-plus-year-old quarterback. And I think Aaron Rodgers pretty much wants to chill, and I think that there's a chance that he could, be in the booth, if he so desires to, or become a part of like some analyst team, maybe even work for the McAfee show because he's always on there for so long. So
Wait, I have a question though,
yeah.
and I'll let you finish your thing. My thing is like you said, like NFL without Aaron Rodgers. Let's be honest though. Let's be completely honest, right? We're not even being like because we're Bears fans. Aaron Rodgers has not been relevant in the last 3 years. Like, I'm being so serious. Okay, so Tom Brady, right? He was
Hmm.
relevant though. Like the
Right.
Bucks were making the playoffs consistently. He was
Hmm.
his last season. He had 4,600 yards. Last season, he ended up. Yes, they went 8-9. Yes, they got clapped by the Cowboys, but he still ended off with a bang. He did, right? Aaron Rodgers has been underwhelming ever since like Green Bay. There was a streak of all his starts where he did not throw a 300-yard game, like a passing game, for like 29 starts in a row. Like that was just crazy. I can literally imagine an NFL without him because the NFL has been great without him. You know, like I get it. He's a great talent, and Packers fans are going to be sad, obviously, because he's an all-time legend for them. So I feel for them, but obviously I don't. But like I do feel for them. Like that is an all-time great, but it's not like LeBron is leaving the league. Like even LeBron at age 41 is still making an impact in the league. Like people still want to watch LeBron. He does. He's box office, right? Like Tom Brady too. He retired. Ray Lewis ended off with a bang. So did Peyton Manning. I just don't see that happening with Aaron Rodgers. And it's like we can imagine an NFL with them because we do have greats like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. We still have like the NFL is still in great hands, in my opinion, man. That's
No,
just
I
a comment
agree.
I had.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying from this perspective of a player that's been like in the league for so long. Like so much of my viewing experience
Yeah,
involved like times playing against Aaron Rodgers.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're right. Like I could care less.
That's what I'm
In
saying.
in all with all due respect. But it's what is it called? I'm just trying to think of the words for it. But I just think that, you're right. Like he hasn't been that great, especially near the tail end of the season. And Green Bay knew it was time to move on. They're happy with who they have right now, at least. At least most of them are. It's just like, yeah, I mean that's really not much. I have really not much else to say about that. It's just gonna be like a relief that he
Mhm.
doesn't have to terrorize us anymore
Oh
with
no,
his. But
week 12 is going to be hell for him.
but speaking of week 12, like, oh man, like I made a TikTok about this a while ago, like a couple of days ago, and it was just like my first thought when I saw the news is that, oh man, week 12 is gonna be 10 times more like a big deal now.
Oh yeah, it is.
Because the fact that this could be Aaron Rodgers' last game at Soldier Field, and dude, I don't know if I can take him winning that game.
Oh, he's not.
Like, no matter what fashion it is, like I don't think I can
My
take it.
thing is, it's still we have such a way better team than him.
But it doesn't matter. Like, listen, you can
It
have a
does
better.
matter though.
No, I
It
agree.
does.
I agree. But it's like, you know how like there's listen, you could have like a shitbox team, play like you've been all shit the whole year, but against like a team that you genuinely care about, something will switch. And for some reason, some maniacal reason, Aaron Rodgers has that switch against the Chicago Bears. He's
It's
been
weird.
nonstop talking about him. Like as much as we hate to admit it, that the Steelers are like uh, not necessarily in their greatest form at the moment. You can't help but imagine, like, even if in a team like that, for a fact Aaron Rodgers is going to be like,
Oh,
guys, we
nah.
need this. If there's a game we cannot lose, it's this one against the Bears. Because if once I retire and say all is said and done, I can hold that hat off on the Bears, saying that I beat them in the last game. I still own them for till end of time. And while
I
that's
just disagree with you, man. I think he's gonna have that mindset, but I just don't care. I don't care. He doesn't have the team for it. He has one of the worst O lines in all of football, and he's not a mobile quarterback. We're gonna get to him. And second of all, who is he throwing the ball to? DK Metcalf. Metcalf is only good at streaks. All we had to do is put Jalen Johnson on him. He's locked. And then, bro, I'm not scared of Van Jefferson. I'm just not. I'm not scared of Van Jefferson.
yes,
And
sir.
no. I just think that it's. I'm telling you right now, it's not me just hating on Aaron Rodgers because I just think he's such an annoying person, bro. It's and it's like I never understood why he. If you think you're so much better than the Bears, why do you keep talking about the Bears? Like, talk about something else. You're on the Jets. The Jets have no. You're on the Jets and you still talked about the Bears. Like, who cares? Why are you talking about us? We're not even a rival anymore. And second of all, it's like, I mean, look, I'm talking about week 1, he's losing to the Jets, his former team, and week 12, he's losing. You know what, man? The one game I do want him to beat, the one game I want him to win, is a game against the Packers. I know it's not in Lambeau. It's Sunday Night Football, but I want him to win. But here's the thing, though. I do respect Jordan Love a lot more, though. That's the thing. I do
I
like
do.
Jordan Love more as a person, bro. He's actually like a nice, genuine person, bro. Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's a genuine person. But anyways, that's sidetracking. But I just think that week 12, man, like obviously we're gonna get into this when like it's closer to the game, but it's like June right now. But like I don't see the the Steelers beating us, man. I just don't. They're gonna be god awful.
Yeah.
Because the one time we beat Aaron Rodgers, we had the way better team. We did in 2018. We had the better team, and we beat Aaron Rodgers
Mm-hmm.
24-17 in Soldier Field.
Yep. Uh, yeah. So do you have another? Let's move
Yeah.
on to the next one.
Hey, so guys, so Baker Mayfield last season. I want to talk about Baker Show because
Mm,
I know you like Baker Mayfield a lot. My question to you, Mr. Baker fan, is has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers peaked with Baker Mayfield? Or is there still is there still growth like for Baker Mayfield? Can he okay, my big overarching question is can the Buccaneers win a Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield?
that's a very interesting question, and one that as a pretty relatively big Baker fan, if I do want to say so myself,
I like him too.
there's two things that come to mind that will hinder his chance, no matter what happens. Because listen,
Yeah.
we all know how Baker operates. You know, plays tough, very high skilled, um, relatively careful with the ball. Not mean obviously he throws interceptions, but he throws a lot of touchdowns too. Um, had a lot of success. The two things that hindered this team a lot were A, the defense, and B, Todd Bowles as head coach. I can't stress enough how many times conservative play can affect a team's potential to win a Super Bowl. And listen, you can say that they don't have a good defense, but there have been teams that have really bad defenses and still made the Super Bowl because they just overpower it with offense. Or at least if you have like a relatively decent defense, you know.
Yeah.
With Baker's case, it's that, and along with the fact that Todd Bowles is a defensive-minded head coach, and he still is having issues when it comes to conservative play, and that comes a lot when it comes to um, coaches that have a defensive mind. I think for Baker's standpoint, Baker is well experienced enough that Todd Bowles probably lets it go. And with the two offensive coordinators, that Dave Canales and Liam Cohen, with the Buccaneers, helped Baker at the end of the day. I just think that those are the two things that are going to probably be the reason why the ceiling is so low for the Buccaneers. Like the Buccaneers have all the talent in the world to make a deep run in the playoffs. It's just that things like that aren't going to win you championships. You need to have like a good head coach that can not be too conservative at times.
Mm-hmm.
And without that, with that, sorry, it will be tough for Baker to make a Super Bowl until they fire or make a move or change or something in that aspect, while also paying attention more to the defense, which I think they did a little bit in the draft, but they focused a lot on offense, especially in the first round. That's the only thing I feel that is going to be a hindrance to Baker's chances to win a Super Bowl.
All right. Yeah, I think you nailed it, man. But I do have to disagree with you a little bit. So I think Baker Mayfield is a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. I think we can agree with that, right?
In NFC, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he is. So my thing is NFC South is Baker's division until proven otherwise. I
So
don't think
Bryce Young gets good. Well, like
I just don't think, like, even with Bryce Young, I don't think I just don't think he's ever gonna be like a Baker Mayfield. Like,
or Mike
maybe he does. Maybe he
Penix.
does. Maybe he
Mhm.
does though. You never know. But until that, I still think next year they're gonna win the division. It's been the Buccaneers division for so long. And then I think I could see Baker Mayfield going to the NFC Championship, man. He was literally a first down away 2 years ago to sorry, no, not first down, a touchdown away to beating the Lions last year. Um,
Two
no,
years
two
ago.
years ago. Sorry, 2 years ago. And
And a fumble, like an
fumble,
unnecessary fumble by.
yeah, against Jaden Daniels, and like, it's just like I think he's good enough to win you games, and I do think that he needs the best weapons around him because he's not one of those where he can elevate talent. I just don't think he is that kind of guy that can elevate talent. And I do like the pick with Emeka Buka because Chris Godwin's he hasn't been healthy so long. Like for like he's not been like a very consistent healthy guy on the team, right? And he's a stud, but he gets injured a lot. They got Mike Evans, they got Cade Otton. I like Bucky Irving. I think he could be a top 5 running back next year. I think the defense of the Buccaneers is fine. Like they got Zaire McCollum. Like they have Antoine Winfield. Like they do have Jacoby Dean. Like they have good players on the defense. And Levante David. Like they have a good defense. The question is, do you pick Baker Mayfield over Jaden Daniels? Do you pick him over maybe Caleb Williams? I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna put Caleb yet, but do you pick him over Jalen Hurts, which he already beat him? But do you pick him over that team? Do you pick him over Dak Prescott and the Cowboys? Do you pick him over um I'm blanking right now.
What's up?
Jared Goff, Jordan Love. Like you gotta make those assumptions. I still think he's top 5, but the question is, you asked for Super Bowl. My thing is, if the Buccaneers surrounded with amazing talent, top 5 talent, like top 5 defense and top 5 offense, I think Baker Mayfield's good enough to bring them to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying winning it, but he can bring them to the Super Bowl. He's good enough to win games. He's proven that. And he is a gunslinger, though. But he does throw a lot of touchdowns. He has 41 touchdowns. I'm rooting for Baker next season, bro. I really hope he has a good season next year. I hope he gets another playoff win. But yeah, I think you made some good points, but I disagree with you there. I think he could maybe win a Super Bowl. But I do agree, Todd Bowles is very, very conservative. That is an issue though, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I just think that's the only thing for Baker, because
Yeah.
Baker, you know, especially with the second chance that he got. Because I recently watched a video about this whole, like, just to kind of recap myself, because I've followed his trajectory from being in Cleveland to the Panthers to the Rams to the Bucks. Like that whole thing was crazy. And especially watched that Rams versus Raiders game on
Oh,
Thursday Night Football,
that was
peak
goaded.
cinema. That essentially saved his career at the end of the day, and you know he definitely knows that he's very well accepted in Tampa. Like Tampa loves him. Um, but yeah, I just think that's really it. But
Yeah.
let's move on to the next question that you have.
All right. So another question I have, guys. I know I'm rapid fire with the questions today. Let's talk about America's team, the Dallas
Oh my god.
Cowboys. All right. So the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, highest paid quarterback in the National Football League, $60 million. Is this a make or break season given that Jerry Jones added a wide receiver in George Pickens? Now the offense has CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, um, Ferguson? No, Ferguson. eh, Rico, no, they don't have Rico Dowdle anymore. Okay, some running back. I forgot what the running back is. Um, yeah, that, and then they have an offensive line. I'm sorry, guys, I'm blanking out, but yeah, do you think this is a make or break season for Dak Prescott? And what are your realistic expectations for the Dallas Cowboys? I think right now it's a good time to talk about this because, you know, a lot of people are against Dak Prescott being the highest paid quarterback in the league. Is the market the market? I don't know.
That is tough because you know I think I think as long as you have your two weapons in CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, I think you'll still be competitive. Like Dak, say what you want about Dak, and I've been really critical on him. I still think that he's a pretty good quarterback, especially. But I just think that the division around him got a little bit better, way better actually. Even the Commanders are making a big move, especially now with Jaden Daniels. Um, but that all depends on how he does in his second year in the NFL. But for Dak's perspective, like the Eagles got better, relatively speaking. Trying to think of who's it. It's Dallas, Eagles, Giants. Giants got marginally better, in my opinion. Like
Yeah,
I, even with the quarterback room and conundrum that they're having right now with
I
who's
think
they're going to be their starter.
that
It
defense, will be
that
crazy.
defense looks really nice. I will, especially with Abdul Carter.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that defense is going to be special. So they've improved. The Dallas Cowboys have improved a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Honestly, I forgot who they drafted in like the second and third rounds.
they
I'll
got
be
Tyler
real.
Booker.
So Tyler Booker from Alabama is a really good pick for the offensive line, a good key position, especially for Dak. I think one of their offensive linemen retired. I'm pretty sure. Like, so that's like a good position to fill.
They got Marshawn Nealand, edge from Western Michigan. Cooper Bebe, offensive guard from Kansas State. Maurice Lifu, uh, and then they got Salen Carson from cornerback from Wake Forest. Ryan Flannery,
Yeah,
Nate
yeah, and then I
Thomas,
think
and
they.
Justin Rogers.
I mean, you could like knowing Jerry Jones, that he'll probably like nail like at least a couple of them at the end, like last portion of the draft, like the last couple of rounds of the draft. Like he has a tendency to do that. Um, I think they've improved a little bit. I mean, offensively, they have not really. They have a still big question
Oh
at running
wait,
back.
the good pick they had was Siobhan Ravel. That was a really good pick.
Mm,
The cornerback from the third round, like that was a good pick. But yeah,
wait, do you know who their running backs are?
they got, I think they got the blue guy. Um, yeah, they got the running back from Texas. Blue.
Oh. Oh.
Um, yeah, so they got their running
Oh, they
back.
got Javonte Williams
Yeah,
from the.
Javonte Williams. He's decent. He's
He's
not
decent. Deuce
can't win a
Vaughn.
Super Bowl with him, obviously.
Yeah.
Deuce Vaughn. I mean, he's
Jaden
very.
Blue.
Yeah, Jaden Blue. That's the guy I'm talking about. The guy from Texas. They got him. They got
Okay.
him.
Gotcha. So their running back room is still a question mark. But the bigger question, I guess, is how will Dak fit under Brian Schottenheimer's system? And obviously, the defensive coordinator on that team is Matt Eberflus. So that's gonna
Don't
be
even say
something.
that name, man.
Yeah. So, like, listen, especially with the division that they're in, I think their division is one of the tougher divisions if you're looking at it from a like a top down perspective. So it's gonna be tough. I think that Dak has a lot of work to cut out for him, especially missing a year, or like relatively a year. Um, and
My
George
question
Pickens
is,
helps, but
my
it's
question
just not
is this a make or break season though for him?
make or break. I mean, you already know what Dak is about. And first year head coach, I don't think it's a make or break per se. Like, I just think there's too many question marks. Like, you already paid him. Like, is it really a make or break? Like, if
They
you
don't
already
owe
paid
him. They don't owe him guaranteed money after next season.
after next season, so it's really not a make or break season. This is just like a season where they are
But they
kind of testing the waters with Brian Schottenheimer,
okay. But
and if things don't,
my thing is, I do get what you're saying. New head coach, right? But let's just say season goes south. They go like 4-13. Just something happens. They go 4-13. Arch Manning's on the board
mm-hmm.
next season, or whoever. The quarterback class is supposed to be stacked next season. You have that top 5 pick. Dak doesn't play that good in this year. If you're the Cowboys, obviously we gotta see what happened this season. But if you're the Cowboys, do you draft the quarterback and sit him under Dak for one more year, or like you trade Dak? I don't know, but like, what do you do there? Because like, what if the season goes south and you have a chance to get a franchise quarterback?
That is true. That is very true because that's the same thing that the Steelers are. If you're kind of going back to what the Steelers are doing, they always screw themselves over of getting a good quarterback in the draft. Like, listen, Will Howard is still on their roster, and there is potential for Will Howard to be decent. Like, there's no one saying that he's not going to be decent. It's just that the quarterback room is currently Aaron Rodgers and Will Howard and
Mason
Mason
Rudolph.
Rudolph. Like, that's not an insane climb except for Aaron Rodgers, maybe.
No,
So
that guy's
from
washed.
that perspective, if you win too many games and if you go back to the Dallas Cowboys, you're kind of
Yeah,
screwing yourself out of, good capital that you can invest in the early first round where you can make a push for a player like Arch Manning or
for
the
sure,
second best quarterback if you want to trade down. So
for sure.
I just don't know because their division, I feel like they could be one of the worst teams in that division. Like if just from a talent perspective, and from like where they are compared to like the trajectory of the Eagles, the trajectory of the Commanders, and you can say that they're probably fighting with the Giants at that point because there are a lot of question marks from the staff to their offense and how it's going to really look like. So with those factors of that, is this really a make or break season? Personally, I don't think so.
My thing is, it might be a make or break season though,
All right, go ahead.
because the reason why I'm saying that, right, is my. It's not even because of this season. It's because of what Dak has shown, right? I think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback in the National Football League, but only in the regular season. In the
Mm-hmm.
postseason, he hasn't played his best football. And greats and quarterbacks are judged when what they do in the postseason. It doesn't matter if you're the greatest regular season. If you don't have the greatest, if you don't have a good postseason, what does it matter? If you don't win the Super Bowl, the season, who cares about the season? If you don't win the Super Bowl, you don't win the Super Bowl. Obviously, you can make improvements, but Dak Prescott has never went to the NFC Championship. NFC Championship. He's been in the league for 9 seasons. 9 seasons. He's had a top 5 defense, best scoring offense, and guess what? Has led to no NFC Championship visits. Like, At some point, I mean, and what really broke Dak Prescott, in my opinion, is when you had you won 16 straight games in Dallas, right? You were playing a year one rookie, like because he is. I mean, he obviously has been in the National Football League for 5 years, but you're facing the youngest team in the NFL in the Green Bay Packers, round one in your crib, where you won 16 straight games. You throw two pick six, so you throw two picks, one pick six, and you get blown out. I don't care about your stats, man. You lost that game 48-16, not 48-32. You lost the game 48-16. And
Yeah.
it's just like my thing is after that, and then this season, you don't win. You lose twice to the Niners, where you get like you play awful. You play awful. The defense played amazing that game. You play awful. And it's just like I'm not even trying to rip Dak because I like Dak. He's a good regular season quarterback. But at some point, he has to be judged. And the Cowboys have to look in the mirror and say, is Dak Prescott going to win us a Super Bowl? If they still think Dak Prescott can win a Super Bowl and he doesn't show next season, they don't go for a quarterback next season in the draft, or they do something with that, they're not a serious franchise. They're just not a serious franchise because at some point, like we made that question where has the Buccaneers peaked with Baker Mayfield? The question
Yeah.
should be has the Cowboys peaked with Dak Prescott? Because I can make the argument that Baker Mayfield's never had the team like Dak Prescott has. Baker Mayfield's never had a top 5 defense. Baker Mayfield's never had the best scoring offense in the league. Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield's never had a 12-win team. He's never had any of those. But guess what? Baker Mayfield still finds ways to win. Obviously, look, Baker Mayfield. I'm not saying Dak is in like worse than Baker Mayfield, but I'm just saying at some point Dak Prescott has to be judged, man. And the Cowboys have to look in the mirror and say, is Dak Prescott going to win at the Super Bowl? And if that answer is no, you have to do something about the quarterback position. I get it. You're owing him so much money. The Browns literally owe Deshaun Watson so much money, but they made a move. They got 2 quarterbacks now, and they probably will draft another one next year if those 2 quarterbacks don't work. So at the end of the day, guaranteed money is something, but I don't know. I don't know. I think this is the make or break season. I think the Cowboys. I know this is unrealistic because I don't think the team is like that, but the Cowboys have to go to the NFC Championship next season.
Yeah. I can see that. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't
NFC
think so.
Championship is too much for them, especially with
But
the
like
current iteration of their team.
my thing is, I do grade it, and I think it's unfair that I'm saying that now. But the team that Dax had before, it's like he's getting judged for what he's done in the past, and that expectations are coming from what he's done from the past to now. Because if he had not messed up like my big point is if he did not lose to the Packers in that in that wild card game,
Mm-hmm.
who would have known? The Cowboys were operating on a different level that year. Who would have known? The Cowboys could have went to the NFC Championship that year, could have went to the Super Bowl. Maybe they get owned by the Niners, maybe. But at that point, we're like, okay, Dak's the guy. I mean, you can win with Dak. Obviously, this season, let's be honest. This season, we're talking about, oh, he got injured. They weren't winning with Dak. They weren't winning with Dak either. Dak, you have to ball out, man. I believe in you, but you gotta ball out.
Yeah. I genuinely I agree with you. Like it just I just don't see that like I mean he has to,
Yeah,
obviously.
Right. Yeah.
But I just don't see it. Like that team unless something crazy happens in the NFC, which NFC East or even NFC, like
Oh, Matt Eberflus cannot get anything good, bro. No.
yeah, that's what I'm kind of worried about. But it's yeah,
You want to do the wheel?
sure. Oh yeah, and in this segment, we're gonna do something a little different on the pod. So what we're gonna do? Let me just share once I.
Wait, if you guys haven't before already, go subscribe to Sobacksports. We do episodes of the podcast at least once a week. We try to do twice a week, but at least once a week. And yeah, go subscribe to my channel too, SlashingGotNext. I've been putting a lot of videos out there, so if you guys are interested, go subscribe.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna do a wheel. And we're gonna do two teams every week, every time we do an episode. And the two teams that we just select or get picked, we're gonna be doing rapid fire quick predictions for that team.
Like week by week, week by
Week
week.
by week, we're gonna remove the teams that we already discussed until it goes down to like the last two.
I'm ready. I'm ready because we're freestyling this. So, I'm ready. What? Okay, so if we do two teams, you say like, I'll read out the schedule, and then
Mm-hmm.
you say your prediction for that one, and then for the other team, I'll do the other one. So we don't make
Okay.
it like too long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sounds good.
All
All
right.
right, we're gonna
You do the
move it
first
around
one.
a bit.
You do the first one, and I'll say the teams like the games. Like
All
I'll
right.
tell you what the games are.
Wait.
The
Okay. I mean,
Panthers.
wait. Now I spin. Well, it's the Las Vegas Raiders, but
So we're doing the
the
Panthers and the Raiders.
no. This is the Raiders. This is the Raiders.
Oh, Raiders. Okay.
Yeah, that was the first pick. And then for you, that's for you, right? You want to go
No,
first?
that's no. I'm gonna say it for you. Like I'll say the games. Like you're gonna predict. You're gonna predict the Raiders.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Should I do it right now?
Yeah, just go for it.
I
Let's go.
bet. So our first predictions, guys. Okay.
Keep track of the
Yeah, I
wins
got
and
you.
losses.
I got you. I got you. I got you guys. All right. Week 1 against the Chargers in
Ooh,
Las Vegas. So at
in
home.
Las Vegas, a home game. I think that's a loss.
It's a loss. So 0-1. All right. All right, wait. Sorry, I messed up. My bad. All right. Week 1 is against the Patriots. Sorry.
Oh, it's the
At the
Patriots. So I think that's a win.
To win. Okay, 1-0. Okay, week 2 it's at home against the Chargers.
Week 2 at home against the Chargers. Geno Smith, Ashton Genty, that whole offense. I think it's a loss.
You think it's a loss?
Yep,
Okay,
Chargers
1-1.
loss.
Okay, the Commanders, they go into Washington. The Raiders.
That's a loss.
It's a loss. Okay, so 1-2. Week 4 against our Chicago Bears at Allegiant Stadium.
Loss.
All right, 1-3. The Colts at Indy in the Motor City. No, that's not the Motor City. My bad. Sorry.
The shoe.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I meant.
That's a tough one. I think that Indy should win that one, but I feel like it's one of those Mickey Mouse games. I think that the Vegas Raiders can take it.
All right, 2-3. Okay. Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward comes into town against the Raiders. What do you got?
Give me 1 second. Let me do something real quick. I think that should be Cam Ward. I feel like that's going to be a close game.
Just
I think
the coach too. Pete Carroll's the coach.
True. I think that
It's a tough one.
I think that Vegas will win that one.
All right, 3-3. Now they go into Arrowhead Stadium.
Mm,
They go into Arrowhead. They do play the Chiefs pretty good.
true.
Very
I
close
think-
games
Hmm.
in Arrowhead.
I think they lose that game.
All right, they're 3-4 right now. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. They have their bye week. Then they go and they host Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. Duval. Try to do one. Had to do one. Week 9.
I think they win that game.
All right, 4-4. Solid for the Raiders. Pretty good improvement. Now Bo Nix. They go into Bo Nix's stadium, the Broncos.
They lose that one.
They lose that one. All right, 4-5. Now they go and they play America's team in Vegas. They play America's team.
I think they win that one.
They win that one. Okay. 4-6. Now they host the Cleveland Browns off that amazing victory against the Cowboys.
I think they go back to losing that game.
Oh, Shador comes back and beats them? I don't know.
Whoever's their quarterback. I feel like it's one of those Mickey Mouse games that's going to.
All right, Chargers, Raiders in LA this time.
LA. I think they get swept by.
They get swept. 5-7. All right. Broncos come in town. They come in town against the
They get
Raiders.
swept by the Broncos.
They get swept
I
by
don't
the
think they're
Broncos.
ready enough to beat their division.
All right, 5-8. Now they play the Eagles in Philly.
Oh, that's a loss. Yeah, that's a loss.
5-9. All right. Now they go into Texas. Hot weather in Houston. What do you got?
I think Gino will pull it out.
Oh, okay. 6-9. Now they play week 17 against that grueling Giants defense in Allegiant Stadium. The best.
I think they lose that one.
They lose that one. Okay. 6-10. They close it out against the Chiefs, week 18.
They will rest all their starters, but so yeah, I think give the Raiders to win that one.
Okay.
Because it's like one of those
7-10. You got the Raiders going 7-10. That's solid.
They have improved a little bit. I just think that
That's
they will
solid.
win some solid games here and there. And Ashton Genty will be a big proponent to that team, and Brock Bowers. So
I think you nailed it, man.
They have Max Crosby still. They have Christian Wilkins, who's a big question mark.
I think you nailed
Pratt, Alex Kappa, who they got. The offensive line, is decent. It's not the best, but it's just decent. But yeah.
Wait, Heike, for mine, like put like after you like spin it, like put my teams, like put the schedule on the screen. Yeah, I bet. Actually, I'll be honest, man. I agree with you. 7-10 is a perfect. I think that was perfect. I think you nailed it.
The Miami Dolphins.
Oh, we were just talking with the Dolphins before the pod, man. Okay, let's go.
All right, let me look at Miami's schedule real quick.
All right, Miami. I'm ready for Miami, man. I don't think Dolphins fans are gonna like what I'm gonna say, but let's go.
Okay, skip preseason.
All right.
First game of the season is against the Colts.
They win that one. They go 1-0. They go 1-0. I mean, Daniel Jones is your starter. Like, I got. I mean, see, I don't know. Richardson might start too. And then,
right.
Either way, I think it's 1-0. 1-0.
Okay, Patriots.
Ooh, it's in Miami. 2-0. 2-0. They start 2-0. They start off 2-0.
Bills.
Oh, Josh Allen owns the Dolphins. Yeah, 2-1. 2-1. It's in Miami too. No, I'm sorry. No, it's in Buffalo. No way. Jets. Well, this is a tough one. I got the Jets winning this one. 2-2. 2-2.
Dolphins and Panthers.
Panthers. I think the Panthers are gonna be sneaky this year. 2-3. I'm be serious. I think Panthers are gonna be a sneaky team. Dave Canales offense with Bryce Young. 2-3. Chargers. 2-4. I remember this game 2 years ago, week 1. That was a crazy game. Yeah, but 2-4. The Browns. Ooh, tough one in Cleveland. This is tough. I'm gonna go with the Browns here. Actually, no, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I will go with the Dolphins. Dolphins win this one. Sorry.
3-5.
Okay, Falcons. This is such a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Falcons here. I got the Falcons winning this one. I don't think Miami. I think Michael Penix's gonna have a good year.
Ravens.
What do I have so far?
3-5.
3-5. Okay. Ooh. Ravens. Yeah. I got the Ravens winning this one, man.
Okay.
Lamar is just too good.
Dolphins hosting Bills.
Oh, sweep,
Okay.
sweep, sweep.
3-7. Commanders.
Oh, Commanders win this easy. 3-8. It'll be a bloodbath, actually. That one.
Saints.
Saints. Oh, this is a tough one. I think the Dolphins win this one. Saints are not a good team.
Yeah,
They
it's
don't have
at
a
home
quarterback.
too.
No, they don't. They don't have a quarterback. Like Tyler Shuck. Like I think Shuck will be starting by then.
Okay. Dolphins at Jets.
It's a cold weather. Tua can't play in the cold. I got the Jets winning this one. Jets are going to
4-9 at the moment. Dolphins Steelers.
It's in Pittsburgh. I got Steelers winning this one. I'm the Steelers win this one. Dude, they have a hard schedule.
Bengals at Dolphins.
Oh,
Okay,
dude.
they end the season like relatively at home. So
Okay, here's the thing. I think so the Bengals and Dolphins both don't have a good defense, but I trust Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has a way better off. Like I got the Bengals winning this one. Sorry.
okay.
I don't know. It's just the Dolphins.
4-11.
Dude,
Buccaneers.
the Bucks are gonna be fighting for a playoff spot. Give me the Bucks.
4-12.
I think
to end.
they'll end the season with. Oh, damn, it's so tough. Vrabel. Now I got 5-12. Sorry, no 4-13. 4-13. They lose this one. My bad. 4-13.
4-13. Okay.
I'm being serious, man. Okay, the reason why. Okay, guys, and I know like, if you guys are watching, like I know what you guys are saying. Wait, the Dolphins, like you have Tua, you have Tyreek Hill, Waddle. It just they're about to lose Jalen Ramsey, and it's just like their defense is not good. Tua can't play in the cold. Their defense has been really bad. Like it's not been good. I mean, Javon Holland. So not Holland. Sorry, Xavier Howard. He's old. Like I don't know the I don't trust Mike. Like I don't know this team. They have a really hard schedule. I don't see them. I don't know. I don't see them progressing, man. Like this, I think this is a year where like they really suck this year.
Okay.
I think they will be the worst team in their division, but I could be completely wrong, guys. Again, this is a prediction, but 4-13. I warned Dolphins fans before I made this. You know, is it extreme that I chose them over the Jets? Maybe put the Jets one like in week 4. They win that game, but that's the thing. The thing with the Dolphins, man, and maybe you've observed this, man, is they always start off so hot, and then they lose so many games in the end. I don't think they'll have that luxury this year, bro. I just don't. They have so much hard games to start the season.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that concludes this episode. Yeah, we went under 50 minutes. This is pretty good. Yeah, great episode, great topics we had to discuss. We're going to be doing at the end of every episode 2 predictions. So tune in to see our predictions, and we'll compile all of our stuff at the end of the season. See what happens. Obviously, things are going to overlap with each other because we won't remember exactly who beat who. So these are just general takes.
These are just general predictions. Like we're obviously not going to get the exact.
We'll do that at the end of near the tail end of the season. Like
we're not going to get the. I mean, like realistically, we're not going to get all the exact games right because, like it's just so hard. We're just going to give our rough predictions, and honestly, I like your prediction. I don't know if you like my prediction because I don't know 4-13.
4-13 seems pretty harsh, but I think they're like 7-10 team.
I'll give them a margin of error like 2. So I think they can go 6-11.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more fair. Is that more fair? I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, that's going to do it for today's episode. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Look forward to more episodes coming down the line. Yes, always remember to check out the socials down below. Check out him, SlashingGotNext's channel. I really appreciate if you go out there and subscribe to him. Thanks again so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel as well. We're on the road to 700 subscribers. Appreciate you everyone for tuning in. And as always, guys, see you guys in the next one.